Welcome to Venice, the floating city of canals, romance, and timeless beauty. In this video, we'll explore the best of Venice in just 2 days, uncovering its iconic landmarks, rich history, and hidden corners that make this city unlike any other in the world. Our journey begins at Piazza San Marco, the heart of Venice. Known as St. Mark's Square, this grand plaza is surrounded by ornate buildings that reflect Venice's power during its golden age as a maritime republic. The square is dominated by St. Mark's Basilica, a spectacular church with glittering Byzantine mosaics and 5 domes, built in the 11th century to house the relics of St. Mark the Evangelist. Piazza San Marco, or St. Mark's Square, is the historic heart of Venice and has been the city's political and social center for centuries. It emerged as a formal square in the 9th century, expanding around the original St. Mark's Basilica, which housed the relics of the city's patron saint. By the 12th century, the square had taken on its iconic rectangular shape, flanked by the Procurati buildings that housed Venice's powerful officials. The Campanile, or bell tower, became a vital landmark for sailors, while the Doge's palace showcased the wealth and influence of the Venetian Republic. Over time, the square hosted religious ceremonies, political gatherings, and Venetian festivals, earning Napoleon's praise as the drawing room of Europe. Today, Piazza San Marco remains a symbol of Venice's maritime power and cultural splendor, famous for its architecture, pigeons, and periodic flooding from the Adriatic tide known as Acqua Alta. Next, we step into Doge's palace, the former residence of the Doge, the leader of Venice. This Gothic masterpiece tells the story of Venice's political and judicial history, with its grand council chambers, golden staircases, and the famous Bridge of Sighs, which connected the palace to the old prison. The Doge's palace in Venice, or Palazzo Ducale, was first built in the 9th century as a fortified residence for the Doge, the head of the Venetian Republic. After several fires and reconstructions, the Gothic-style palace seen today largely took shape in the 14th and 15th centuries. It served as the political heart of Venice, housing the Doge's apartments, government offices, and the Great Council Chamber. The palace also held courtrooms and prisons, including the famous Bridge of Sighs. Today, it stands as a symbol of Venice's maritime power and architectural splendor. After lunch by the canals, we take a classic gondola ride through Venice's winding waterways. These gondolas have been part of Venetian life for centuries, offering a serene view of the city's hidden bridges, narrow alleys, and colorful facades. Gondola rides in Venice date back to the 11th century, when these long, narrow boats became the primary mode of transport through the city's canals. By the 16th century, thousands of gondolas filled the waterways, often ornately decorated and symbolizing wealth and status. Over time, their design evolved to the sleek, black form seen today, optimized for navigating tight canals. While once a practical necessity, gondolas are now mainly used for tourism, offering a romantic glimpse into Venice's maritime past. We then visit the Rialto Bridge, the oldest of the 4 bridges crossing the Grand Canal. Completed in 1591, this stone arch bridge is not only a feat of engineering but also a bustling hub, with shops selling jewelry, souvenirs, and local crafts. Nearby lies the Rialto Market, active for over 700 years, where locals buy fresh fish and produce straight from the lagoon. Day 2 takes us beyond the main island to discover Venice's lagoon treasures. First, we sail to Murano, world-renowned for its glassmaking tradition since the 13th century. Here, artisans create intricate glass chandeliers, vases, and beads, a craft passed down through generations. Visitors can watch glassblowers at work, seeing molten glass transformed into delicate art. Murano glass has been crafted for over 700 years on the Venetian island of Murano. In the late 13th century, Venice moved all glassmakers to Murano to reduce fire risks in the city and protect its glassmaking secrets. Murano artisans became famous for their mastery of techniques like crystal-clear glass, multicolored enamels, and delicate filigree. By the Renaissance, Murano glass was highly prized across Europe, especially mirrors and chandeliers. Today, the island continues to produce intricate glass art, blending centuries-old tradition with modern designs. Next, we head to Birano. Birano is a small island in the Venetian lagoon, famous for its vividly colored houses and centuries-old lace-making tradition. Settled as early as the Roman era, it became a fishing village where locals painted their homes in bright hues to help fishermen spot them through the lagoon's mist. During the Middle Ages, Burano gained renown for its delicate needle lace, known as merletto di Burano, which became highly prized across Europe by the 16th century. The island's charm lies in its canals, leaning bell tower, and pastel streets that reflect in the water. Today, Burano remains a living museum of Venetian heritage, drawing visitors for its craft, history, and photogenic beauty. Returning to the main island, we visit Santa Maria della Salute, a striking Baroque church built in the 17th century as a votive offering after a devastating plague. Its grand dome is one of the city's most recognizable landmarks, standing guard where the Grand Canal meets the lagoon. Its construction began in 1631 under the architect Baldassare Longhena and was completed in 1687. The church stands at the entrance to the Grand Canal, distinguished by its massive octagonal dome, symbolic of the Virgin Mary as protector of the city. It is richly decorated with sculptures and mosaics, featuring works by Titian and Tintoretto. Each year on 21st November, Venetians celebrate the Feast of the Presentation of the Virgin, with a pilgrimage to the Basilica in gratitude for the end of the plague. We then stroll along the Grand Canal, often called the most beautiful street in the world. Lined with palaces showcasing Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque architecture, it tells the story of Venice's wealth and influence. Taking a vaporetto, or water bus, offers the perfect way to soak in the scenery and end your journey with a final panoramic view of the city. The Grand Canal in Venice is the city's main waterway, stretching about 3.8 km in an S shape through the heart of the city. It has been a vital trade and transport route since at least the 9th century, connecting the lagoon with the Rialto, which became Venice's commercial center. During the Middle Ages and Renaissance, wealthy merchants built grand palaces along its banks, showcasing Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque architecture. Today, the canal remains central to Venetian life, lined with historic buildings and crossed by 4 famous bridges, including the Rialto Bridge. 2 days in Venice is enough to fall in love with its charm, from the grandeur of St. Mark's Square to the quiet magic of Burano's canals. This city is a living museum where every bridge and alley whispers centuries of history. Whether you're here for the art, the architecture, or the simple pleasure of getting lost among the waterways, Venice never fails to enchant.